Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I decided that I don't know if this is going to be a full-on series or a mini-series, but I decided that I was going to add one of the mini-series that I've started on this podcast. But yeah, I decided to, start up a new one. Overall, giving you guys advice on being a content creator, because I feel like there's a lot of things to discuss. There's a lot of things to go over. I may not be the best content creator to go to when it does come to advice, but I am still going to tell you guys my playbook, what's worked for me, what I've seen work for others, and things to avoid, things to get into, who you should be as a person, blah blah blah, yada yada, the whole spiel on being a content creator. So anyways, I feel like starting off this series, it should be best if I tell you guys on overall finding yourself and finding the content that you want to do and get into, because that's day one. That's literally day one, creating the channel. All of it, uploading your first video. You need to figure out who you are and the content that you want to provide to YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram. I was about to say TikTok twice. Twitter. Any platform that you want to get into. Because here's the thing. Any type of content can literally go viral anywhere. If you are a Facebook streamer, you could go famous on there. If you want to post comedy content or whatever, photography, whatever, but this is more so giving you guys advice on being a YouTuber. But I'm saying this advice can work for any things that you want to get into. So that's why I'm leaving that opportunity and that door open. Hey, even though I'm giving out advice on being a YouTuber, this advice is literally rated E for everybody, all right? So, anyways, so day one, creating content and, overall, creating your persona. Now, what works for me is being myself, but you can be a character, because I've seen where people are overall characters and they've became mad successful being a character. And here's the thing, and with being a character, it should always have a hint of you in it. You should never be somebody that you're not. You should always either be 100% of yourself or 50% of yourself. But it should never be anything less. 49, 49.99, whatever it is. No, you should always have a high percentage of yourself in there, or a blend of a character and somebody else. But it should always be you. So that's why, it can be with your sense of humor or, your stories, whatever it is that you want to overall, add to the content. It should always have a hint of you in there. So, for an example, if you want to be a photographer, you shouldn't go above and beyond on some stuff that you don't really, know about, or, be overall taking pictures of all that stuff. Because I feel what being a photographer, it's very different from being a YouTuber and stuff, but at the same time, it does have its similarities, with overall what you want to get into. So that's why it's with photography, if you want to take pictures of the sky or of plants or of shoes or fashion, whatever it is, if that's the type of stuff that you're into, then get involved. And that's with content creating. It's, when you're day one of becoming a content creator, you can you gotta overall the content that you get into it. But don't be a makeup artist, but you're a gamer, that. And I'm saying if you're full on 100%, and you can, my thing is this, if you want to get into something new, you very well can. There ain't no problems with getting into something new, but it has to be something that you're into. You getting into something that you're not into, it won't feel right. And then it's okay, then you get famous from it. Then it's gonna get to a point in time where you're not gonna want to do that anymore, and then you're then people are gonna be mad and then not want to be involved in your content anymore, and it's overall gonna be a tough situation for you on how do you manage being a fallen off YouTuber, because that's what a lot of people are going to consider you. They're going to consider you a fallen off YouTuber once when you stop doing the content that brought you your fan base. So that's why it's always best, like, make the best of the content, even if it's content where a lot of people don't watch it, or there are so many people involved that, you will, of course, you're going to start off as like a smaller person in that community. Make the best of it. Whether it's a big community or a small community, always make the best of it. Always be the Kobe Bryant or the Michael Jordans or the Steph Currys or the Wilt Chamberlains. Always be the best of what you're getting into, because if not, you only half it and stuff, and it's not gonna come out its best. So that's why, day one of being a content creator, you need to have all that stuff figured out. Now I have that's one of the things that I've done is right when I alright, so when I created my gaming channel, it was by random. That was the thing. I had already played a crap ton of video games. I've been a gamer since I was 2-3 years old. So I've been into gaming for a good portion of my life. So when I created my gaming channel, it was by random, but it was definitely something that I wanted to do. Playing video games, beating them, just the raging, the cracking jokes, whatever it is, it's who I am. So that's why, when getting into gaming was easy, because it's something that I'm into. Reaction videos. When I had, it wasn't like I had my first reaction video was the first time I ever got into it. No, I had watched a crap ton of reaction videos prior beforehand. So, and then that's another thing where it's is it okay to pick up certain things from other content creators? Yes and no. If there's something that they're doing, if that's their signature thing, don't pick up from it. But if it's the way that they edit their videos, or I don't know, it really just depends on what you're trying to overall take from this content creator, because I have seen it where content creators have done that, where it'll be something as small as thumbnails, and people would, bite off of another content creator and then use that thumbnail for themselves. And so, yeah, that's why it's if you are going to do it in your own way, but don't do it in the way okay, so Vanoss Gaming, it's him and a group of friends sitting around overall playing video games and stuff, but don't take his thumbnail or play the same game he plays on the day that he uploads a video, and then you try to do your own version. Because then when your friends, when they overall catch on to that and stuff, alright, so let's say you're a gamer, you start posting gaming videos, you get you and a group of friends, and then you're all the day of Vanoss, he uploads a video of himself playing Prop Hunt. Then you're all oh guys, let's play Prop Hunt today. And they're all nah, let's play Grand Theft Auto. See, there's conflicts. There's going to be issues within that. So that's why it's okay, if my thing is this, nobody is not trying to say it Vanoss is the greatest YouTuber of all time, but at the same time, you're not greater than Vanoss, but Vanoss is also not greater than you. You are your own person. Vanoss is his own person. So that's the one thing that people should always remember when getting into content creating. You're not better than anybody, and nobody is better than you. So you should always go into a situation okay, you know what? I'm doing this to have fun. I'm doing this to show off my talent. Now, some people may not agree with your talent, which is okay, because at the end of the day, that person can go watch somebody else rather than, sitting amongst you. And that's another thing when, becoming a content creator, always listen to yourself. If there is content that you are interested in, that you want to get into it. If somebody tries to jump in and be you're not good at this, bruh, and making it seem that they're good at everything that they do. It's funny when, okay, so let's say this, you decide that you want to get into makeup or something, right? And you're like, they're expecting you to look like Ariana Grande, but you're like, no, I want to overall like do what I want to do. I want to look like myself. I want to, feel comfortable in the makeup that I put on and whatever. And then there's somebody that's all like, no, you got to do it like this because Ariana Grande does like this and she's the most gorgeous woman. Like, it's people like that where I'm like, look, if you're not comfortable with what you're seeing or with whatever, I'm like, that is on you. Or even if it's something like Call of Duty and you keep constantly getting killed, I'm like, bro, at the end of the day, and that's like one thing to say to people, you do not know what the other person that watches his videos or her videos, you don't know whether or not they're gonna like their videos. So if somebody else watches their videos and they like it, and then you're feeding it into their brain like, oh, you're not good, you're horrible, you're this, you're that, and it's like, fam, that's why I always tell people, I'm like, okay, if you're going to, and because see, here's the thing, when they sit around and they do stuff like that, they're never content creators. There's not one time where a content creator, like, there has been some content creators, but I don't call them legitimate content creators because you're never going to sit amongst another content creator and try to convince them that they're doing something wrong. If you're calling yourself a content creator yourself, but if you're not calling yourself a content creator, why would I sit down and listen to you? Like, that's something that I've always have said, and their thing is that, oh, I'm not serious about content creating. I'm not going to listen to somebody that's not serious about it. This is me being serious about it, and this is overall what I want to do. So that's why I'm like, yeah, just always listen to yourself or listen to people that actually want to help you, and they're there for you, they're being your friend, they're not insulting you, they're not saying things to make you question yourself or make you question what you're doing. My thing is this, like, if somebody wants like hard, crucial, like critical or whatever type of advice that they want to seek out of me and stuff, I'm going to be honest with them. If they send me some music and they want me to be honest with them, my thing is this, I'm not going to tell them, hey, your music is trash. I'm going to tell them, these are some of the things that you should work on with your music, okay? Production, that beat was all off. Maybe, slow it down a little bit because it just seems like, you were just being all like wild and chaotic in this beat. Like, just try to have it being a little bit mellow. Or if you do want that wild and edgy beats, maybe listen to some artists to get an example of what to add to your music and so on. And then, do the music production. That's if they're in music production. But if they overall want to be a rapper and then their rhymes ain't all that good, I'm like, okay, once again, slow down, because what you were doing, like, that's not going to, like, at the end of the day, you want to attract an audience, right? That's not going to overall attract an audience, But if it's working, my thing is this, if they continue doing it and it works for them, what I said doesn't matter, okay? Whether they get 100 listeners, 500 listeners, my thing is this, if they're just starting off, like, that's when I'm going to give them advice, when it's like everything is at zero. But when they get, like, if they get 20 subscribers off of it, if they get 100 subscribers, if they get 500, 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, however many thousands or millions of followers that they get doing the music that I just criticized, doing the stuff that I told them not to do, what I said doesn't matter, okay? Even if they just get one subscriber, what I said doesn't matter, and it never will matter, because there's somebody out there that's gonna like that stuff that they're into. They want the offbeat or the weird music or whatever it is, because that's what works out for them. And at the end of the day, that's one of the things where it's like, okay, a person, everybody's not going to be interested in your content. So don't expect everybody, don't even force people to be interested in your content. Like, that's one of the things where I'm all like, I don't expect people to be interested or to like my content, but they're going to have respect for it. Because this is, at the end of the day, this is my job. This is what I do, and there's going to be people that, hear that and they're going to try to argue with it. And it's like, no, that's why it is always okay to ban and block people, depending on which platforms you're on and whatever they have. It is definitely okay to ban, block, silence, mute, whatever it is to get that person out of your, like, you know, your case and things. Yeah, it's perfectly fine to do all of that stuff, because at the end, they don't own your YouTube channel, they don't own you, they don't own nothing that you're doing, they don't even own the platforms that you're wanting to post on. So that's why at the end of the day, like, you know, whatever you want to do, that's the only thing that matters. All right, so anyways, but yeah, you know, have fun being a content creator. You know, make the best of it, make friends, you know, make yourself smile, then also, you know, make other people smile and stuff. But yeah, you know, overall, have fun with being a content creator. But in that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 38 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off of your for your first purchase. And make sure you use my supported creator code for Epic Games TMossBoss. And in the meantime, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.